Hi folks, thanks for joining me. My name is Robin. Today we're going to look at how to play Scorpion Solitaire, the two-suit version. I will be using an online game at solitaire-club.com. I'll put a link in the text below the video. Let's make a start. Okay, here we are on the home page of solitaire-club.com. And if we scroll down, you see the 4 solitaire variations, and today we're playing Scorpion Solitaire. And if we click on the play button, and there are 3 options available: single suit, 2 suits, and 4 suits. And today we're playing 2 suits. And there's a hints shown as to how to play at the outset. Let's click on that. And if I just click on this settings button, the first button I'm going to press is this button here, which expands the playing area to your screen, which makes it a bit easier to see. So I'll just run through quickly what these buttons mean. So the button on the left restarts the game if you've had enough. The next button along reverses the last few moves. So as many moves as you need to go back, you can do and have another go. This is the settings button, and that reveals this X button, which closes the game down when you're finished. This music button, which starts and stops the music. This button expands and contracts the screen. And finally, this button with the question mark provides hints as to how to play the game. And just click on the tick. Okay, so the cards are dealt into 7 columns. The object of the game is to sort these cards into the 2 suits, that is hearts and spades, from king down to ace. Now, you will need to reveal these hidden cards over in this area, and there are 3 further cards in the top left of the screen. Now, you can move any single card or a run of cards, providing the receiving column is the same suit as the top card and exactly 1 higher. So this run of cards headed by the 8 of hearts, I could move onto a 9 of hearts. This head of cards, this run of cards headed by the 2 of hearts could be placed on the 3 of hearts, and indeed I think I'll do that. And that turns over one of the cards underneath. Now I think we'll continue with the game, and hopefully how you play will become clear by example. So the card revealed is 6 of spades. We can move this 6 under the 7, and that turns over another card. So what I do is I look at the card at the head of these 4 columns and see where I might be able to place those cards. So we have the 8 of hearts. Well, that would require a 9. And I can see there's a 9 here. And that seems to be the only 9. So in order to expose that 9, I would need to move this jack out of the way. And I could only do that by finding a queen. And I can see there is a queen over here, and I can expose that queen by moving the 6 out of the way. So let's do that. So we move the jack onto the queen, and now I can move this 8 onto the 9, and it turns over a card. Now this is a 9, so to move this I would need to move it onto a 10, and I can see there's a 10 down here, and I can see there's another 10 up here. And interestingly, just below this 10 there is a 6, and I could move this 6 onto this 7 down here. So let's do that. Let's move this 6 down here, and now I can move this 9 onto the 10. Now that reveals an ace, and luckily we have a 2 down here, so I can simply move the ace onto the 2. And you can see that slowly we are turning over these hidden cards. So we have a 5 here, we can put this 5 onto the 6. And now we've got an empty column. Now you can put a king into an empty column. In fact, that's the only card you can put into an empty column. So we have a king here. We have another king here. So let's see how we might use that. Okay, so looking at these cards, we have a 7 of spades, 9 of hearts, and a jack of spades. So to move these cards out of the way, we would need an 8 of spades. There's one here, another one here, and looking at this 8 of spades over here, immediately below the 8 is an 8 of hearts. Well, we could move that 8 of hearts onto the 9, and that exposes the 8 and enables us to move the 7 onto the 8. Okay, that's a king. Okay, so we still need to uncover these 6 cards. So we have a 9 of hearts, which needs a 10. There's a 10 down here. And immediately below the 10 is a 7 of spades. So if we had an 8 of spades, we could move it. I can see there's an 8 over here, which means we would need to move the 9. Now, looking at this column here, I can see there's a king immediately below a 10, which means we could move this 9 onto the 10. So why don't we move this king into the space? And then we move the 9 over here. We move the 7 onto the 8. And now we have a 10 exposed, which can receive the 9 of hearts. And that turns over a 4. So for us to move this 4, we would need a 5. So there's a 5 here. There's another 5 here. And that's it. So a queen, we would need a king a red king to receive that. And I can see there's a red king up here with a 2 directly underneath it. That's interesting because I can also see that there is a 4 here, and we could move this 3 over here, and then we could move the 2 and its entourage underneath. Now we have an exposed king, which we could use to move the queen over here. And we can now move the 4 onto the 5. Good. Okay, there's a king down here, and we can simply move the queen onto the king. Right. Okay, so we want to move this jack onto a black queen. Now, I can't see a black queen, so that's a problem. It either means that both the queens are under here, or they're in this area here. Now we can click on this at any point, and I suggest now is a good time to do that because, right, okay. Now I've clicked on those 3 cards, and none of them are a black queen, which I think means we can't do this because the black queens must be hidden, and I simply can't move this jack anywhere because the only card I can move the black jack onto is a black queen. So I am sorry, but the game has to stop at this point. But I hope the idea of moving cards around was fairly clear. But unfortunately, things like this do happen, and it means this particular game can't proceed. So I am sorry about that. I'll have to close this game down. That was Scorpion Solitaire 2-suit version. On this occasion, we did not win, but it is possible to win this game. I hope you will try out the game and let me know how you get on in the comments. If this was of use, please can you click the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to find this video again or see more material. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.